Hi guys, how's it going? It's Aladam Chek, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Last week we talked about how you can save money on a low income. And honestly, even people with high income do suffer financially. It's either because they have bad money habits, they don't have a budget, or they have it, they are just not following it. And whether you earn 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, you need to have a budget in place that is going to be easy for you to follow. And budgeting is very important. It's impossible for you to manage your money without a budget. Very impossible. And budget is very easy to do. Like really, it's a very easy thing to do. You just need to take your laptop, open that Excel spreadsheet, or take your book and, draw down those tables. Just have it somewhere, either in your Excel or just write it down, but prepare that budget sheet. And it's not going to take you even 30 minutes. And the good thing about it is that once you do it, you won't have to do it again because it's your life. Whatever that is in that budget is what you know that you spend on every single month. So once you get it out of the way the first time, then trust me, you are good. So in today's video, we're going to look at the reasons why your budget is not working. And guys, please note that none of my videos constitute as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Number one, your budget is in your head. You have your budget in your head, and that's the number one reason why it's failing. You need to write it down. Having it in your head is not helping you anyhow, and I'm sure you know as well, it's not helping you anyhow. So write it down. Like I've said, either in an Excel spreadsheet or in whatever book. You can go buy a notepad where you are going to write down your budget, but you need to have it in writing. It works best if you actually see it, to see that, okay, my rent is this much, my food is this much, and all of that. And when you have it like that, then you know that you're going to be restricted. If it's food and you've allocated 1.5, when you now spend 1.6, you know that you are not within your budget. So it's actually going to be your guide. So you need to have it in writing. Number two, you are not addressing your bad spending habits. For you to do better, you need to know where you're going wrong and you need to address that. And actually, another bad habit is not following your budget. You have it in place, but you are not following it. You don't even know when last you opened it, you took a look at it. But you are the very same person who desire to have savings and investments. You are the very same person who desire to live within their means. You are the very same person who desire to pay off their debt. How do you think it's going to be done if you do not follow your budget? So your budget is failing because of you. And oftentimes you don't look at it because you want to make bad financial decisions. You know that if you look at it, it's going to hold you accountable, and you are not ready to be held accountable. And that honestly demonstrates some level of irresponsibility. So not looking at your budget, knowing that you should look at it, or not having a budget in place, knowing that you should have it in place, it's not on. Don't do it. Number three is planning to save after you spend. You can't treat your savings like it's any other category in your budget. Saving is not spending. It has to come first. That's why we are told to pay ourselves first. We need to save and invest before we spend the money, before we pay our bills. We need to save and invest. So the first thing you need to do is attend that saving and investing item in your budget. And you have it in your budget because you wanted to prioritize it. You wanted to reach your financial goals. But you are not going to do so if you do not prioritize it. And the problem is that if it's the last thing you plan to do, if saving is the last thing you plan to do, you are not going to do it. If, let's say, you don't prioritize it, and in your budget you have planned that you're going to save 3,000, and after doing all your spending, you are now left with 2,000 that is meant for your savings, you are not going to do it because you're going to feel like you are not meeting your savings goals. And the easiest way out of it is to say, oh, I will start next month. So if you cannot prioritize saving, it means you lack the discipline to start with. So where will you get the discipline to save that 2,000 that is left? You need to program your mind that saving and investing comes first before anything else in your budget. Number four, you are not automating your savings. You need to have a separate bank where you will be putting your savings, and you need to set the transfer to happen automatically. We live in a world where it's easy to spend money. Things can be bought online. It's no longer a thing of, oh my goodness, I need to now take a bath, step out, go to this shop, and then you end up not going and saving that money. But in today's world, it's very much easy to spend money because everything is literally at our fingertips. If you don't move your money, you are going to spend it. You will never save it. Your budget will fail all the time. So it's best to move that money, because once it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And number 5, you underestimate what you actually spend on. You need to know yourself, know what you like, and know what you often overspend on. You need to know your numbers, and you need to analyze your spending, and this will help you to cut back on the things that you should not be spending on, things that are not that important to you. Last week we talked about prioritizing the most basic needs. That's what is very important. When you analyze your spending, you will be able to see what is important and what is not important. And we often overspend on our wants, not our needs. And analyzing your spending requires you to be very much honest with yourself. I think it takes courage, and bravery, so you need to do it. So take your bank statement and categorize your spending so you can see the budget item you underestimate. Because the problem is that if you don't get to address where you are underestimating, then you are always going to feel like you are overspending, and that is going to throw your budget off. So if maybe this month you see that you have spent 1.5 on food, the coming month you spend 1.6, and then that other month you're spending 1.8, then it's time for you to address it, or it's time for you to just come to terms with the fact that this is where you are. Your food is now 1.8. You cannot continue allocating 1.6 to food if you know that you are always overspending by 200 or 300. So it's going to help you to just categorize your spending and see where you are underestimating. It's going to help you a lot, and it's going to help you rearrange your budget and see, okay, now that we are here, food is no longer 1.6, it's 1.8. Do I afford? Do I need to cut back on my saving? Do I need to cut back on money for going out? Do I need to? So it's going to help you make those great financial decisions. And of course, you cannot cut back on your saving, unless if it's a matter of life and death, like your budget is that tight. So maybe you can get to that point. And the last one, you are not including irregular spending in your budget. This is a result of impulsive and emotional spending. In as much as you have to be strict with your budget, just don't make the mistake of not allocating any funds to irregular spending. You need to accommodate irregular spending because during the month there are some things you want, there are some items that you are now going to spend a bit more on, so you need to accommodate irregular spending. And I've actually realized that you will never get to enjoy your money if you don't accommodate it. You will feel like being financially responsible is the hardest and heaviest thing to do. It does not have to be like that. It does not have to be like that. It must be, we need to keep it as simple as possible so it can be easy. So accommodate irregular spending by allocate a bit more and give yourself some money so you'll be able to buy yourself some stuff during the month. So we've come to the end of our video, and I hope that our budget will start working for us and we'll be able to save and invest more and stay within our budget. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.